to Aesthetic TV. I'm Stuart Brazel. One of the pressing issues for medical aesthetics practices is figuring out the best strategy for targeting, acquiring, and retaining millennial patients. While baby boomers continue to drive most of the aesthetic field's revenues, millennials represent future growth for our entire industry. This demographic group, which ranges anywhere from 18 to 35-year-olds, represent a virtual annuity stream for practices. But what is the secret to capturing this millennial market? To help answer this daunting question, please welcome Dr. Deepak Dugar, a Beverly Hills plastic surgeon.
Hi, nice to meet you, Stuart.
So nice to meet you. So can you define the millennial patient for us?
So millennials, also known as Generation Y, or the net generation, they're the demographic cohort that directly follows Generation X. Most sources will agree that a millennial is technically born between 1976 and 2004. They're ethnically diverse, they're tolerant of differences amongst most people, and they are confident, but they are also known to be a little narcissistic. So, Generation Y is also a demographic powerhouse, and they're the largest living demographic in the US. They have about $200 billion in direct annual purchasing power and account for $500 billion in indirect spending through their parents or guardians. The US Census Bureau estimates that by 2030, millennials will account for 75% of the American workforce.
How would you describe the millennial generation's attitude towards anti-aging?
I would say millennials are very attuned to anti-aging because of social media. So platforms like Facebook, Instagram, they've changed the entire way people view aesthetic procedures. This has encouraged the changes in how people look at the aesthetic treatments and what they're wanting. So think about it. For example, Kylie Jenner has almost 100 million followers on Instagram alone. Her constant evolving looks continues to inspire her fans. Because the millennial is constantly online, we can also track some of these trends related to the aesthetic procedures.
How do you account for their changing attitudes towards anti-aging?
Well, millennials are not trying to turn back the aging clock as much as they're trying to look at preventative therapies. So it's less likely that a millennial will request a tummy tuck or facelift. Obviously, it's too early for that. But the current trend is in non-surgical energy-based procedures. That's what's appealing to the millennial patient. In combining therapies that take into account the patient's overall health and wellness, that's on the rise. So this is evidenced by aesthetic platforms such as the BTL Aesthetics BTL Vanquish Me body contouring system, as well as the BTL Exilus Ultra 360 and the BTL Cellutone, which rejuvenate from head to toe, whether one wants to tighten the skin, treat cellulite, or even enhance sexual satisfaction.
In what ways are they a different breed from, say, the baby boomers or Gen Xers?
So I'll try to explain what makes a millennial different. Millennials are much more focused on health and wellness than the older generations. They're much more well-informed because of social media and obviously the internet, and they want to be proactive and avoid all signs of aging. They have different cosmetic concerns when compared to the older generations. In general, millennials have a more comfortable conversation about doing and having cosmetic work done.
What aesthetic technologies and techniques are popular with millennials right now? Okay,
well, according to Allergan, Botox applications on 19 to 34-year-olds jumped 87% between 2011 and 2016, and nearly 28% of all Botox administered last year were to millennials. And this is not an anomaly. Of the $15 billion spent in the United States on aesthetic procedures, 44% went to non-surgical procedures, and millennials accounted for 18% of those total treatments.
Neuromodulators and dermal fillers are fine, but don't they just treat like the superficial areas on the face? So what about dealing with the excess fat, cellulite, and body areas that are away from the face?
So it's true that this demographic group is attracted to preventing methods when addressing the effects of aging. Preventing the appearance of aging in the face is very important to the millennial. Also, treatments that address the whole body are big. So instead of Botox or a filler, they opt for non-invasive or minimally invasive treatments such as those offered by BTL Aesthetics. These are the energy-based treatments from BTL that answer the needs of many younger patients looking for natural ways of aging. For women, even vaginal concerns can now be addressed using the company's Ultra Femme 360 treatment, which is a painless, no downtime procedure that's effective in answering a significant need amongst the female population. The cost of these non-surgical treatments is attractive to millennials as well. For example, the BTL Exilus treatments are cost-effective when compared to the necessary repeat treatments when you're comparing to a neuromodulator or filler, which you're re-injecting on a routine, regular basis. So that runs up the cost in anti-aging, whereas the BTL systems, for instance, are designed to be both extremely effective and less expensive than some of the other alternatives.
What concerns do millennials voice during the patient consultation? What do you think is front of mind for them?
So post-procedure, they don't want to see any unevenness or lines of demarcation when they're treating fat. They don't want any pain, they don't want any downtime, and they want to be able to return immediately to work or exercise after the treatment.
In your view, how do you think this trend will all play out?
Well, I think in general, the millennial wants something that they can go back to whenever they need, low cost, no downtime, no pain, and BTL is able to offer that with their multitude of solutions between all of their different devices.
Thank you, Dr. Dugar, for your insights. Now, let's recap. Young people are getting aesthetic procedures earlier in life, and they are often concerned with slowing down the signs of aging before they start to show. This emerging demographic group often views cosmetic treatments as a means to enhance their lifestyle and appearance. For Aesthetic TV, I'm Stuart Brazel. Stay tuned, and hey, stay young.